What's going on, guys? Vinny Vegas here.
And I'm Crissy.
And today we are doing a movie review for the movie Crawl. We actually just got done seeing it. We are actually in the car, driving home right now. So if it sounds kind of funny, that's why. But this is going to be a spoiler, I guess, conversation. Because we're gonna talk all about this.
Review kind of type?
Yeah, this is immediate thoughts, essentially.
Yes.
Okay, so
first things first.
First things
first.
1
out of 10, what would you give it?
Out of 10? Oh, God. This is so strange for me because I hated this movie so much that I loved it. You know what I mean?
You know, and it's funny because I feel the same way. Like, it was very unrealistic in some aspects.
Yes.
And I hated it, but at the same time, I felt like I couldn't breathe because I was so, like, into it.
This movie had me holding my breath, going, what the f*** are you guys doing? What is going on? Why are you doing the decisions? Why are you making these decisions? Well, first off, let me just answer your question. Out of 10? If I was being brutally honest, probably a 7, maybe.
Okay, yeah,
7.
I think I'm around the same. I would give it a 7 as
Yeah,
well.
why would you give it a 7? Why? Why would you give it a 7?
Because
What did you
I
like?
thoroughly enjoyed it. I enjoyed the
survival mode.
the anxious, like the anxiety.
The anxiety portion of the film.
Yeah, the like, what is it? Suspense.
The suspense.
The suspense of it. Like, you're waiting, the basement is filling up with water, and you feel like you can't breathe because you're already like, oh my god, please hurry, just hurry. You know.
I know exactly how you feel.
And then
the claustrophobia,
yes.
the anxiety. Yes, it was gripping. It was probably that movie was very effective at actually just getting you to be like, oh my god, we gotta hurry.
Yeah.
We gotta. And the premise of the movie basically is very simple. If you guys don't know or anything about this movie, I would be surprised because it just came out this weekend. But if you don't know, essentially it has to do with a daughter and a father. They're trapped in a thunderstorm. Yeah, and a hurricane. Thunderstorm would be a lot simpler if it wasn't a hurricane. They're in the crawl space. Alligators every freaking where.
Yeah, they live by a swamp.
It's by a swamp. It's in Florida. Oh my god. And basically the movie is just survival.
Yes, the
whole movie is nothing but we gotta survive. And that was good, and kind of like, at some points I was like, it's getting kind of repetitive a little bit. It's like, we do one thing, alright, now, okay, we're almost there. Let's do it again, because we're almost there. We didn't get there last time.
Yeah, but in a different aspect, it's like, that would be real though. Because you have to be careful, and you have to just keep on trying to get out.
I know, and that's the thing about this movie, that I think I loved it and I hated it at the same time.
Because I'm sorry, but you know, the crocodile bites them multiple times on limbs.
Oh.
And it's like, you're not gonna get your leg torn off if you're fighting back. You are gonna get it torn off.
At one point, the girl is in a tumble roll. What do they call it? What do they call those?
Yeah, it's what alligators do when they like want to rip something up.
Yeah.
He grabs her arm and he rolls it.
Yeah, and they go into a barrel roll.
Yeah, and in reality, like, and she survives like 10, 20 spins.
Yeah, like 10, 20 spins, and this bee here, she lived.
Yeah, in reality, like, her arm would have been ripped off.
There is no way there's no way that these people should be alive. At one point, the father has to put his freaking leg and snap it back into place. God.
I guess in like survival mode, if something was happening, you know, your adrenaline kicks in, and I get it that you don't feel all the pain. At the same time, I don't believe a gator that big will not take off your limb.
See, here's the thing, from the trailers, if you've seen the trailers, essentially I went into this movie going, yeah, it's gonna be one gator that's just gonna be causing problems. I never thought that they were gonna incorporate like 8 or 9 of them. There was a shit ton of gators in this movie.
Well, yeah, but because and that's where they address, it's because they live by a swamp.
Yeah, and you know, the thing is, with this movie, the trailer was what I'm specifically referring to. It basically looked like it was going to be a movie that involved just like one huge ass gator.
There was
But
tracking them, right?
Yeah,
and that's why we were like, well, why is this one gator hunting them? And why but in reality,
yeah, there's like 18 of these assholes.
It was just because they lived there.
I know, they lived right next to the swamp. Yeah. Overall, though, I thought visually, though, I thought the alligators looked kind of cheesy at some certain points.
Yeah, the CGI was kind of off.
Yeah.
And at other points, it was like, okay, like, I see, you know. At the same time, it's like, that shower door, though.
Oh, dude.
What is it made out of?
At one point, an alligator, you can see it in the trailer, she lures him into a cage-like trap using a porcelain, like, shower glass.
A shower glass, right? And the gator can't get out.
The mother sucker he stayed in there the entire, like, that was the last time you saw that gator.
Like, you're gonna tell me that he couldn't bust through that weighing 800 pounds?
Oh, dude, probably more than that. These were big gators.
What company made that door? Because
I don't, yeah, whoever made that glass door for that shower is amazing.
But yeah, like I said, I love the suspense. I love that, you know, it kind of was touchy with the daughter-dad kind of type deal.
See,
like, at points I felt like, oh my gosh, like, it teary-eyed.
Yeah, at some points you find out, the father and the mother, they split, and, you know, the
girl thinks it was because of her.
Yeah, the girl thinks it was her fault because he spent a lot of time being with his daughter,
as
helping her
swim coach.
Yeah, helping her learn how to swim, and so on and so forth, and she feels responsible for the breakup. Mm-hmm. I honestly feel like that portion of the movie wasn't really necessary. Because I felt the suspense and just the survival instinct alone was enough to probably make the movie, you know, stand on its own like that. I don't really think it needed a story behind the story necessarily. You know what I'm talking about?
Well, I guess so, but at the same time, they needed a reason to have this dad at this house that they were supposed to be selling, and mom's not here.
Yeah, the old family house. Because at one point during the movie, she goes and she tries to find her father at like his getaway house, like his condo, I guess, or the house that he moves into after the split and after the divorce and all that stuff happens. But she ends up finding him at the family house, and she takes the dog with her, which of course, I was so scared for this dog.
I know! And just when you thought that, like, what was meant to happen was gonna happen with this dog, eaten by a crocodile.
Dude, you know what? I would have come out of that movie extremely pissed off.
If they killed the dog?
If they had killed the dog, because the dog didn't do anything to anybody.
I know, but it was like, you knew that eventually they were gonna have to sacrifice him, and they didn't. Like, that was the twist.
Dude, yes. I know, because you know what? At one point, they get caught in the eye of the storm, and the water just goes dead, and they're trying to get to a boat, and they're like, can't make any noise.
Can't splash,
because all the gators could come at you. Yeah. At one point, I think both of us turned at each other, and we were like, they're gonna throw the dog.
Because honestly, like, in reality, you know, we all love our pets so much.
Yeah.
But
dude. Oh,
either way.
Survival mode is survival mode, but it's like, I don't know. See, I don't know if I could do that. I don't know if I can sacrifice our dog Shadow.
Oh no, I don't think I could either.
Yeah, I don't think I could do that.
I don't think I could either, but I also wouldn't be walking across to a boat. I would have gotten on the roof from the start.
Yeah, and you know what? There were a lot of stupid decisions in this movie. Yes. I mean, up to a certain point, I knew that they were trying to get out of the crawl space.
Once they got out of the crawl space,
that's where some really stupid decisions were starting to be made.
It's like, there's a boat across the street, and there's all these gators in the water. Let's go get the boat instead of getting on top of our two-story house.
And which, after, you know, like another good 30 minutes, they ended up on top of the house. Like, it was the last resort.
Yeah.
I was like, you could have cut out that middle bit and gone straight
to the house.
Straight to the beginning.
Because honestly, me in that situation, well, I'd be dead first of all.
Yeah. I think
I ain't swimming away from no gator like that.
See, here's the thing, and I don't swim, so
you would have drowned.
I would have died, you know, before the gators even showed up. I would have died in the lifeboat somehow. I would have drowned in like 3 inches of water. But overall, Crawl, I thought the performance.
What did you think of the ending?
Oh, dude. Okay, that is.
That's the main part.
It was very anticlimactic. It's like, it's like they didn't even kill like the Gators and could call themselves like the Gator Masters.
Well, they
the
killed
Gator
a couple
Kings.
of them.
Yes, they killed a couple of Gators along the way. I think the dad got one in the basement.
And then the girl got two.
And then the girl got, did she get two? I can't remember. All of these Gators look alike.
Yeah.
But the ending is very much like, we're on the roof, here's a flare, there's a helicopter, the end.
Yeah, that's basically it.
And that was it.
They don't even show them getting into the basket, what happened after.
Because at this point, the father is like broken.
Like
okay,
missing an arm.
The father is missing an arm. His leg has been like ripped off, but it's being held in place by
chest is scratched.
by duct tape. He got bit in like the top half of his shoulder.
Yeah.
All of that was ripped off, and
it's like broken,
and it's been hours and hours of massive amounts of blood loss.
And that's what my one thing was, is that they never said how long the father had been down there.
Oh yeah.
They never said.
She found him halfway dead. Oh, and do not forget this. The mother sucker drowned and died.
And it came back to life.
And came back to life and then got his arm bitten off. like
let me go.
Like let him go in one piece.
No, honestly, we would all save our dads like that, though. You know.
I know, and dude.
But yeah,
I'm sorry, Dad. I'm sorry, Dad. I can't swim. I can't swim. You'd be dead. Doesn't mean I didn't want to save you, but I just couldn't. I don't.
But I did feel like the end was just like, what? That's it? You're not going to show me aftermath? You're not going to show me like that they, rebuilt themselves and she's finally has a good relationship with her dad and all of this stuff.
See, here's the thing. Like, overall, though, I kind of feel like I got my money's worth. Yeah. And then the other half of me is like, I didn't get my money's worth. I wanted more of a better ending. I want things to be wrapped up a little bit more.
I guess so. That was my only gripe with it. Other than that, like, yes, it was kind of cheesy, but it was suspenseful, so it's like, oh my god, it hooked me. I felt like I had anxiety in there. I was like,
I know.
I couldn't breathe because of the water.
I looked over a couple times at you, and you were,
Yes, because when it starts to fill up in the crawl space, that's when I was like, oh no.
Yeah, when water comes into play and claustrophobia sets in, you feel these characters, you feel what they're feeling.
Yeah.
And I think that was the most effective part of the movie, was when you're put in situations where it's like, my god, I'm about to drown.
Yeah.
And you can see they're about to drown.
That it just
and they can't do anything but just wait for the other person to try to help them. It was absolutely effective when it comes to the suspense aspect.
Yes, absolutely.
The thrills were there. Visually, overall, with the exception of the alligators, which is a bad thing to say, being that they're the focal part of this movie.
Yeah.
Were kinda the visuals were good. Everything else around the alligators,
except for that,
were great. Yeah. But the alligators, themselves,
they look kind of fake sometimes. Right?
See, that's the thing. They just didn't look as good as I think they could have.
Yeah.
However, I think they did their job.
They did. You're right.
There were some really good jump scares in this thing, for sure.
There was.
In the crawl space alone, in the first half of the movie, I was just sitting there. I was sitting there like Pennywise was about to jump out. I was that I was that scared.
I think what else makes it very scary to the fear factor is that we all know alligators and we all know what they can do and how brutal they can be.
I know. You remember that YouTube video where an alligator just goes up to the other alligator because he's eating his food, and he bites his arm and he does a barrel roll and he twists it off, and the other alligator's like, I guess you took my arm.
Yeah.
That's how tough these alligators are. And I can only imagine what it's like going toe to toe with one of these.
Having to be in the same crawl space
with
I'm sorry.
Yeah, and with nothing but even just a screwdriver, which is what dude, it just baffles me.
It does. It baffles me too. That, and then their skin is rough, like they're reptiles.
Oh yeah.
So it's like I ain't got the muscle strength to drive that screwdriver anyway.
Oh no, dude, I'm not.
Yeah.
I would. God, I just can't do it, dude. At one point, she grabs a gun from an officer that luckily drives by to check on him because he had a past relationship with the girl's sister. She grabs a gun and. You're like, oh god, thank god she's got a gun. And she unloads all of the ammo on one crocodile.
Because it bites her arm.
See, that's the thing. It bites her arm. Don't you think your first instinct would be to drop the gun in the mouth of the alligator just because of the pure force that's chomping down on you?
Maybe.
I don't know if I would essentially like squeeze on the trigger right away.
I guess it's hard because we've never been in this situation, and adrenaline works different.
And guess what? I wouldn't want to be in this situation.
Yeah, no. I'm glad we live in South Texas where we don't see gators.
But we see hurricanes from time to time.
Yeah.
But man, overall though, Crawl was an interesting film.
It was. Do you think it deserves the 82% it has on Rotten Tomatoes?
Oh, you know what? It's funny because at some points I kind of looked around at the audience and they were laughing at like the decisions that the guys were making.
Mm-hmm.
But I could tell overall that the people that were watching it weren't like, oh, dude, you're an idiot. Like, this is making the movie horrible.
Yeah.
I didn't feel that from the audience. I felt like this was a, oh, dude, you're an idiot. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Like, they were excited that they were making stupid decisions because it was giving you that thrill.
Yeah.
And it was just adding on to the entire suspense aspect that this film just thrived on.
So you think it deserves it?
You know what? I kind of do.
Yeah.
I kind of feel like...
And I feel like it does too, honestly.
This movie was very effective at getting your heart racing.
Yes.
At getting you to be invested in these characters, not necessarily when it comes to like connecting with their emotional aspect, but
wanting them to survive.
But yeah, just wanting them to survive.
Yeah.
I could give a shit about her relationship that she has with her father and like, oh my God, you must be mad at me because I think you guys broke up because of me. Mom and dad, they broke up because of me. The movie didn't need that.
It didn't need that, but at the same time, for like me being a daughter and my dad being a father,
I guess
it's one of those that like in that situation, I would do anything to save my dad too.
Yeah.
You know?
And I get that, but I guess that's the thing. It's like, I mean, not everybody is going to live by this, but I think most people, you would automatically default and say, you know what, I'm going to do whatever I could for my parent.
Oh, of course.
And that's the thing. Like, I feel like you didn't need a story behind this in order for there to be shown love between them.
Yeah.
It's just another character that they put in, to the movie.
I get it, and at the same time, but it's like we said before, he needed a reason to be at that house that no one else would be at. His wife wouldn't be at. His daughters are grown. She was fine with him. She never checks in on him.
Yeah.
He's 2 hours away. It's like one of those.
There's tension between the sisters, all this other stuff.
So
Mom's not even there.
He needed a reason to not have to talk to anybody for a certain amount of time in order to be down there for that long.
And then for her to go actually searching.
And fighting him. Yeah.
I mean, I get it.
So they had to create some kind of tension where it's like, no one talks to dad anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I get it and everything. And overall, though, I did have fun. And, I'm so sorry I can't, name the actors and actresses that were in this right off the top of my head. But I didn't recognize anybody in the cast.
I recognize the dad.
You know what? I think I might have.
He looks so familiar from something.
The father did look familiar, but I couldn't tell you what his name is.
Yeah.
He just had one of those faces, I guess. He might have been in some other productions.
He's been in other things.
Yeah, but overall though, I thought Crawl did a good job at just getting my heart racing.
Agreed.
Just giving me some suspense. And you know what? That's the best thing a movie can do. You never want to go into a movie going, "Oh man,
I know exactly what's going to happen."
Well, that too, but going in and going, you know what, man, I can't wait to hear about some real life problems. This was a movie where you went in and you escaped, reality. And that's what I think a movie should do.
Yeah.
And you just got put into a scenario in which, you know what, it could happen.
It does.
But you know what?
Hopefully not. Hopefully it doesn't happen like that.
Hopefully it doesn't happen.
Yeah.
But it's not something that I don't think people would find themselves in this situation.
Yeah, I would hope that people are... people do stay in hurricanes, and that's what's the crazy thing. Is this is my home, I'm not leaving now.
Yeah.
And that's how people die.
Yeah. That's
reality. But...
Some ways to die.
Yeah. But yeah, because I could see that situation happening, and then, but I know they wouldn't survive.
I know there was a lot of questionable decisions made in this movie, and but all of them I think were interesting decisions. Don't get me wrong. I think everything that they did in this movie was effective to lead it from point A to B to C, so on and so forth. And the only thing I guess I was kind of upset with was how abrupt the movie actually ended.
Yeah, like I just wanted to see them like happy.
Yeah.
You know, and I know like the ending, you know, it shows that they were saved, but it's like, what?
I know.
Just like that.
And to be honest, when you look at the ending, you see the helicopter coming at them. That thing looked like it was about to go down itself.
Yeah, I know. I thought, I was like, man, is this gonna be one of those endings where like helicopter crashes on them and everyone dies?
Yeah, it looked like Black Hawk Down in the middle of a hurricane.
Yeah, it did. But overall, it was a really good movie, I think. With the exception of, like you said, the CGI with the alligators and just certain questionable like injuries that should have killed them and didn't.
Yeah, I mean, in some ways, I feel like I wish the injuries that the character sustained were a little bit more, you know, not more, but more minor.
Yes, like because she was still swimming like a fish, and she had her leg bitten.
Dude, she should be cast as Ariel, man, for the Little Mermaid. Shoot, man, whoever that girl was,
she could swim.
She could swim.
Or at least they made her look like she could swim.
Yeah, at least they made her look like she could swim. But overall, Crawl did its job, and I can't say that enough.
Good solid 7.5 even.
Yeah, you know what? It's not necessarily one of those movies that I would recommend and say, you know what, go see this in theater. But I would say it's one of those movies when, you know what, you got an hour and a half to spare, and you just want to watch something, you know what, put that on. Yeah. You know, just put it on.
Well, even at that, like, at-home movie night, it's kind of like, oh, you haven't seen Crawl?
Yeah, I think it's one of those movies, if you know somebody that's got the suspense, you know, likes suspense,
likes to be anxious,
or likes to be anxiety-driven, then this is definitely the movie for you. Yeah. So I would give Crawl 7, and it's one of those movies, you may not need to see it right now, but definitely give it a watch.
Check it out.
Check it out. Definitely give it a check out. Definitely. But I don't know. Other than that, I think
that's basically it. Sorry for this being all over the place. We don't exactly have the film in front of us to, like, you know what I mean, review
definitely
frame by frame. But
definitely, guys, this is one of those just spur of the moment.
This is one of those get out of the movies and like, oh, I have to talk about this.
I just need a vent. But thank you guys for listening to our spoiler talk for the movie Crawl. Go check it out. It's a fun time.
I think so. I think it's worth the watch.
That's all I'm gonna say. So we'll leave it at that. Make sure to like, share, favorite, comment,
and subscribe.
Yes, and subscribe. If you don't subscribe, some alligators are gonna jump out of the water and attack your face. So you need to do that. You need to subscribe. We are so close to 6,000 subscribers, guys. So make sure you tell your peeps. And I think at around 6,000 subscribers, I might do a giveaway or something. I think that would be really cool. But let your friends know, subscribe, and we'll see you guys in the next video. My name is Vinny Vegas.
And I'm Crissy.
We'll see you guys later.
Bye.
Bye.